we're progressing along. I think that we've had your normal, dings in camp, but I think we've been pretty healthy for the most part. And I think that's a good thing. That's a sign that these guys have worked with Coach Brady and those guys over the summer and through all the winter to be able to withstand some of this. And now as you get into that 11 to the 17, it's really about the mental side of the game. And this is where we got to challenge ourselves, because if you're going to be consistent, you're going to play your best ball at the end of the year, you got to be able to practice really well from that practice 11 to 17, because that's where, so to speak, the grind happens. I would describe him a little more as an ultimate competitor. Okay. And had guys in the past that are like that, and I would never say ultimate competitors are the greatest thing, but you have to be able to handle it at that position. And I remember we had a guy, Kobe Bryant, who was a corner that was like an ultimate competitor, and I used to try to tell him, I don't want you to not be a competitor, but at that position in particular, you've got to be able to control some emotions, because it's a little different than if you're a D lineman or an O lineman in the midst of what it is that you're doing. So he's been around, he's done it. He is an ultimate competitor, which shows me that he's always going to continue to get better. But there's one of those things where your emotions can get even too high at times because of other issues at that position. Us knucklehead D linemen, it's all right? I mean, mistakes we make are 2-3 yards, and we move on. Different at other positions. People have asked me, okay, hey, if you weren't a football coach, what would you be? And I say I'd be a wrestling coach, probably a high school wrestling coach. But I think it's just, I give a lot of the credit, not the credit, but who I am today about where I started. And that's probably at 4 and 5 years old, starting at being a wrestler, because my uncle was a high school wrestling coach. And I think more than anything, it just kind of trains your mind. If you know the sport, it's one-on-one, it's an individual sport, and it is a competition every single day. And I think for me, that's the way I grew up. That's the environment that I try to create as much as anything. But it's not always, there's a balance to it as well. So sometimes I got to pull myself away from that mindset at times to make sure we understand that there's some other things that have grown and evolved throughout this. But it's always, that's why I stay off the social media stuff. I don't do that anymore. I don't wrestle anymore unless provoked.